So your biggest fear actually happened. The crypto platform holding your money filed for bankruptcy. It's a total disaster. But is this the end? All of your money gone forever? Or is it a new beginning that will help you recover your money? The idea of bankruptcy has been around for centuries, and thankfully it's gotten a little bit less gruesome since then. Back in ancient Greece, they used to force you into slavery if you didn't pay your debts. Yet there's never been a crypto bankruptcy as big as what we're about to see. And maybe you're thinking, let's bring back that Greek system because Voyager Digital and Celsius are in uncharted territory and I want my money back. But no one knows for sure what will happen. It's all extremely frustrating. But I figured there must be some information out there that I could use to get an idea of where we stand and what the next steps might be. So let's start in the beginning with a piece of good news. There are two main types of corporate bankruptcy filings in the US. Chapter 7 is when a company stops operating and all of their assets are sold. Under Chapter 7, the people a company owe money to, their creditors, often get back some percentage of their money. That could be anything from less than 1% and up to 100%. It all depends on how much the assets can be sold for. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. But then there's Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is the route that both Voyager and Celsius took. And the difference here is very important. It means they want to carry on with their business. They're not giving up without a fight. Chapter 11 is often called a restructuring bankruptcy. And this could be good news for everyone. Some companies come back from a Chapter 11 stronger than ever before. It can be just the thing they need to smash their financial problems and recover money for creditors. Yeah, if it wasn't for Chapter 11, most people would have never heard of that guy. And Asgard would probably be some expensive anti-itch cream. Moving into movies was the right thing for Marvel, but it took serious balls. They borrowed more money and got deeper into debt to produce movies about their most popular characters, and it actually worked. But Chapter 11 can also go very wrong, and some do go wrong. Basically, there's only one guaranteed winner of this battle: the lawyers. We can expect a long, drawn-out process filled with legal wrangling and sharp suits. Are you happy with that scenario?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Probably not, and I'm afraid there's not much any of us can do about it. We don't yet have certainty on what will happen to your cash. The whole thing sucks. However, what we can do is look at precedents, previous legal cases that can help us get a better grip on the story and possible outcomes for your deposits. The biggest bankruptcy in American history was the $619 billion Lehman Brothers collapse. This was a massive part of the 2008 financial crisis, and the bankruptcy filing dragged on for years. But it's not all bad. They appear to have fully paid back all of their customer accounts. So this gives Voyager and Celsius customers some hope, right? Maybe not. We have to zoom in closer to a case within the crypto world, Mt. Gox. It's the highest profile crypto bankruptcy so far. Early Bitcoiners will remember, but Mt. Gox was an international crypto exchange that essentially imploded, tearing apart the crypto world for quite a while. And there's one thing we can learn from Mt. Gox. It can take time, like a lot of time. Their creditors are finally getting some money back after waiting 8 years. And then there's the Cred platform bankruptcy, which is extremely messy. This is a lower profile case, but still involves $160 million in debts, inflamed passions, a fugitive executive, and customers classified as unsecured creditors. That last bit means that customers are way down on the list of people to get paid back, which ties in with what Coinbase said recently about their customers being unsecured creditors at the bottom of the list as well. Their CEO said they're not at risk of going bankruptcy anyways, but yeah, we've heard that before. And this brings me to a personal anecdote. I don't claim to know absolutely everything going on in the crypto sphere, especially like the balance sheets of individual companies. But I can tell you there's only one single crypto company that I work with that hasn't lowered advertising rates in the last few months, and that's KuCoin. Listen, they're not the easiest to use platform in the world, but I believe that it's really smart to use multiple platforms to just diversify your money in case things like this happen. And KuCoin has tons of features that I personally utilize all the time, like much safer crypto lending. If you're interested in trying them out and getting another platform, there'll be a discount link in the description. Now, patience is a virtue with bankruptcies in general, and no one can tell us just how much patience we'll need in this exact scenario. Heck, I mean, even Voyager's attorney called their bankruptcy a trip into uncharted territory, which is the last thing you want to hear from a lawyer. Like, imagine if your doctor said, "I'm gonna have to operate, but I ain't never done anything like this before." To further understand what might happen in today's bankruptcies, we need to dive deeper into the exact details. Voyager wants to assure customers that they've not lost everything, which is kind of like your doctor from earlier saying, "Good news, we did the operation, you're not dead." but you are paralyzed. So Voyager froze withdrawals and moved into Chapter 11 bankruptcy as soon as possible, which caused people to panic even more, rightfully. They have 3.5 million active users and billions in crypto assets on the platform. It sounds impressive, so what's the problem? Three Arrows Capital is the problem. 650 million problems to be exact. Incredibly, Voyager lent this massive amount to that hedge fund on an uncollateralized basis, nothing backing up the loan. Then Three Arrows went kind of This fund had 10 billion in assets under their control at one point, but now the founders are hiding under a rock somewhere while the firm gets liquidated, and no one knows if they'll ever get their money back. It's not looking very good. All the recent collapses are far more related than you think. It's total contagion, because Three Arrows began with the collapse of our old friend UST. It turns out that all these crypto lending ventures depended on one another to keep paying each other back with a total sum of money that really wasn't backed up by anything. All it took was one piece to topple over and the whole thing started to collapse. And the real losers here are the customers who just wanted a small yield on their Ethereum. And the biggest disgrace about all this is how there was zero transparency about what's going on. Normal customers were often encouraged to treat these platforms like simple crypto banks rather than these high-risk, complex, ticking time bombs. From here, Voyager has two possible ways forward. One, they say they could sell the business to someone who would take over and pay everyone who was owed money. It could maybe work. It would at least give a little bit more trust to the platform with a new owner, but is it likely? It's really hard to say. For the right price, sure, there will be buyers, but that'll be cheap given it's a distressed business with pissed off customers and a gaping black hole on their balance sheet. That takes us to possible plan number 2. This would involve cobbling together all their assets, like Voyager tokens, all their equity shares, and anything they could manage to get back from Three Arrows to then refund customers as much as they possibly can. Sounds a bit like scrambling behind the sofa to find a couple quarters, but it might work. However, problem. They said in the first bankruptcy hearing that they don't believe crypto assets in customer accounts belong to those customers. That's honestly gross. Like, they did nothing to earn those deposits. Maybe the interest earned, there's some argument there, but the deposits, it's so insane to me that they could say that. And here's the kicker. They tried to be nice. There's $350 million in cash held in customer accounts right now. And they were like, we'll give them that. How generous. This is one of the key points that these bankruptcies are going to have to establish. What exactly belongs to who? Everyday investors are already at the end of the line when getting paid debt-wise. And now the businesses are saying we don't even own what's in our very own accounts. I just hope the justice system solves this with the end customer in mind. It's insane to me that this is even a debate. Now, I looked at the Celsius collapse a while ago and how they froze customer withdrawals due to a lack of liquidity. Things got worse, and the next step saw them start Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings as well. But at the same time, they announced they would emerge stronger from this process. Right now, they've got assets and liabilities between 1 billion and 10 billion with over 100,000 creditors. Their biggest unsecured creditor is Pharos Fund, who's owed 81 million. In terms of cash, they've got 167 million, but they plan to plow on, just like Voyager, so they want to use that cash to carry on operating while they go ahead and restructure the business. According to a Reddit user who analyzed the figures, the company's black hole is probably about 1.1 billion. A lot of money, but honestly it could have been worse. So can they possibly turn this ship around? The CEO, Alex Mashinsky, thinks this is a defining moment for Celsius, but he's also the guy who likened their business model to neighborly love, so people aren't exactly hanging on his every word now. Celsius has been called deeply insolvent and is being investigated by multiple authorities. They've been frantically shuffling money about trying to pay off debts, but people want their sugar back, and it seems highly unlikely that there's enough of that sweet stuff to go around. I think the current situation is slightly clearer now that we've looked at all the facts. Both these companies have massive debts that they simply can't pay back in full. The collapse of UST and then Three Arrows pretty much left them high and dry. But that's because the business models and returns were unsustainable in the first place. By going for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they've got a chance to restructure the business and maybe, just maybe, pay everyone back. There needs to be a sustainable business at the heart of the wreckage that can be salvaged. That's what a new restructured company could spring up from. It's too early to tell though if that's the case. We need more information on how exactly they plan to operate in the future. So Voyager is looking to sell as their first option, while Celsius plans to press on full steam ahead. Both are long shots though, and sometimes they pay off. but they usually don't. In fact, this looks to me more like an eyes shut, fingers crossed Hail Mary pass. Here's my personal take. I think a complete recovery to business as normal is unfortunately unlikely, but I do think there'll be some degree of payback to customers. Maybe not 100%, but something. And it will take time, like a lot of time. The biggest thing that resonates with me in all of this is the classic, not your keys, not your crypto. There's a reason why anyone who's been in the space for a long time keeps as much as possible decentralized, or at least diversifies platforms. They've seen the Mt. Goxes, they've seen the Quadrigas, and now the Celsius and the Voyagers. My heart seriously goes out to anyone who's been impacted by these events. It's insane to me, but I'm certain we'll come out of this stronger than ever before. So I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.